I have an article here from BuyIntoComics.com. Black Panther actor Winston Duke wants to play Batman in The Brave and the Bold. Makes it about changing narratives. James Gunn doesn't have an actor to play Batman yet and is playing The Brave and the Bold film, but somebody has thrown his hat in the ring. Marvel Studios ensemble player Winston Duke. Duke expressed interest and excitement at the idea when speaking with Slash Film. Listen, man, can you start that campaign? I would say I challenge you to get on all these socials and push for me. Get your community. I would love to. I would love to do that as Batman. I'd love any opportunity to explore new characters, to change narratives around some of these entrenched ideas of how these characters are supposed to look, sound, and perform. I'm all for it. He's experienced playing in that world as the voice of Bruce Wayne in the dramatic podcast Batman Unburied, and he is generating support from the usual places such as The Nerdist. They think casting Duke as Batman is a good idea and entreated James Gunn to do the right thing, says Nerdist. Casting Winston Duke as Batman would be perfect for the DCU. And for us, 10 out of 10, no notes. And we'd love to see Winston Duke's Batman interact with David Cornsweet's Superman. It's fine they think that, and Duke has the experience and presence to recommend him, but a campaign to put him in the cape and cowl probably won't go the way he and the nerds hope. Seems academic at this point in history what the hypothetical announcement would be like, followed by a visceral fan reaction and then a backlash against the fan base for being brutally honest and respecting canon. That is unless Gunn and Brave and the Bold director Andy Muschietti pull a swerve and go with either Batwing or one of the sons of Lucius Fox to be the DCU's Batman, digging up obscure lore like what John Ridley penned in comics as a move Gunn would make. Or else he could go Elseworlds like they are with Superman. It's the kind of thing that it would be. That's in the article. I'll link in the description box if you happen to want to read it for yourself for some reason. But it's just, it's stupid. It's Bruce Wayne is not black. All right. There are tons of good quality black characters in DC Comics that they could use, to have him play if he wants to be in the DCU so bad. For example, the John Stewart Green Lantern, who I would argue is one of, if not the most popular of the Green Lanterns. I mean, I know that there's a whole Hal Jordan thing and so on and so forth, but and Kyle Rayner and all that. But John Stewart, to some people, especially those who grew up with like the Justice League cartoons and stuff, he is the Green Lantern, really. And if they cast a white man to play that role, I would say that's stupid. It's dumb. What the hell are you doing? The same way that if they cast a black man to play Batman, I will say that is stupid. That's dumb. What are you doing? It makes no sense whatsoever for people to be still trying to do this stuff, knowing the backlash, knowing that people are going to be upset about it. They still want to try to race swap. Hell, James Gunn's even done it in the Superman movie. Not, admittedly, not as much, but like, for example, Perry White being played. They've race swapped him to black. And it's like, you guys want so badly to have this diversity and everything. Why in the hell do you not take the time to make up new characters? If the entire narrative should be, well, we need to have more inclusion. Of course, what they mean by that is they want more black people in the roles because they don't give a shit about Latino and Latina actors and actresses and stuff. They don't care about Asian actors and actresses. Asian roles and Latino roles and all that stuff. They don't care about Native American roles. They don't give a flying fuck about any of that stuff. All they care, to them, when they say they want diversity, they want representation, they're talking about black people. Because there's more Latino people in the United States than there are black people. But yet black people far outnumber the number of Latino roles. If any group should be complaining about being underrepresented, it's the Latinos, who make up, last I checked, it was about 20% of the population. But then, of course, that gets into the whole thing about whether they're considered a separate race or an origin or blah, 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 whatever the hell. Then, of course, Asians and stuff, that, you almost never see Asian characters in shows and movies and everything. But anyway, I kind of got off the point, I guess. But it's just one of those things that it's like, Batman is not black. If you want to have a black character, create one. Again, and I'll end on this. It's like they had in the Supergirl TV series, they cast a black man to play Jimmy Olsen, but they even changed the name to James Olsen. They changed his character. They made him completely different. He was the only thing that he stayed the same was that he was James Olsen. instead of Jimmy. But other than that's about as close as you're gonna get. Everything else was changed. He became a superhero in the show, and so on and so forth, and everything. They did everything to create a new character except change the name. Then in that My Adventures with Superman, they got Black Jimmy. Now he's a little more like wimpish or whatever. I guess a little more typical Jimmy, or however you want to look at it, or whatever. But now in this Superman movie, formerly Superman Legacy, but now just Superman, he's being played by a white actor again. Should be a redhead. The guy looks like he's got kind of an auburn reddish kind of hair. So all that work you did to make James Olsen black, to have a black Jimmy in the My Adventures with Superman show, what did you get out of it? What did you gain? You didn't gain jack, because it's the character is no longer black. So all that effort you put into it, gone. That Velma TV series, they went to all the effort to changing all these characters and so on and such forth. I heard talk about Netflix is wanting to do some kind of like live action, either probably a series, I would imagine. I'm not sure. And it's like, I don't know about any of that, but whatever. But all that work that they had done in that damn Velma show to change the characters, make them more like, if I remember right, I believe, because Velma was a lot like Mindy Kaling and stuff, and they had, Daphne, I believe, was like South Asian. I never really watched the series. I've seen little clips and stuff because it's a piece of shit. I don't want to watch it. But anyway, they did all that. They changed Shaggy into a black man and stuff. But now, the next time they do this Scooby Doo stuff, they're probably going to go back to the way it's always been. What's all that work for? But if you had created, and this is my overall point, if you had created a new character, if instead of it being, this is Black Jimmy Olsen, if you had created a black, or not a black, but whatever kind of name, always it's Marcus Jones. If you had created the Marcus Jones character instead of Jimmy Olsen, you'd have a brand new black character that you could have included in there. So that even if they had a Jimmy Olsen, you still got this Marcus character that you could still have in there. Or like with the Velma stuff, instead of having, going to all the trouble of race swapping and all this kind of stuff and playing around with all this bullshit, these characters, create some new characters who join the Scooby Gang or whatever. It's like, come on, man. It's not that hard. It's not hard to create interesting characters. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here, though, because I'm starting to ramble. But the point is, it's like, when they go to all the trouble to make these new, to race swap these characters or gender swap or whatever, they're changing so much about them anyway that they might as well just make them new characters. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I'll link this in the description box if you want to read it for yourself, like I said. But thank you very much for watching.